Welcome to the Pinch to Zoom podcast. Gabe is posting to TikTok.
Yeah, just give me a second, then we can get into this. All right?
All right. We'll give you a second.
Our viewers, just hold on there. Our listeners.
Yeah, listeners, you're not viewing this. No video format yet.
No.
Because we're using potato quality cameras built into our laptops.
Wait, yours is potato quality? I wish mine was potato quality.
Oh, are you still at asparagus quality?
Yeah, I'm about asparagus quality, honestly, right now.
Oh, Gabe. Oh, no, man.
Well, let's just get into it. We got a lot of news to cover.
Oh, we do. We have so much news. I didn't even do like a proper, what are we even doing this episode?
I know. Well, there's not really a proper what are we doing this episode because it's really just a recap and looking back through the last 30 days. I guess, well, not the full 30 days of Techtober and Techtober.
It's really like the last 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, the last 2 weeks of Techtober, really. And all the releases and all the news that has come out as, the tech companies gear up for now. We're really in the holiday season, I guess. Can you feel it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're basically on the runway ready for takeoff for Black Friday. That's basically what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I've actually already seen, I think Kohl's dropped their, this is what we're having on sale. And there's actually an app out there, I think, called Black Friday something. I don't know. Just search it in the App Store. They do a pretty good job of collecting all the flyers and stuff like that from the companies. And, so you can start seeing, this company has their Black Friday deals out, this one. And then you can start already making a plans of who do I have to go to physically or online to get the stuff I want to buy for either gifts or for yourself, because you got to treat yourself.
Yeah, upgrades to your setup, your studio, your life, what have you.
Did you say to your life?
Yeah, I don't know. Upgrade your setup, upgrade your workflow.
Okay, well.
Buy that thing you've always been wanting.
Let me know where I can upgrade my life, because I am in desperate need of that.
Desperate need for those?
I am running a beta version right now.
I don't know, Gabe. It seemed like you had a pretty exciting past few weeks. Where were you, and what were you doing? Yeah,
well, we did actually take a little bit of time off, and, I mean, I was personally not in my normal environment. I was out in Oregon. I will say that it's completely for work, and I was just doing it just to, try out the new GoPro camera and test the Nikon mirrorless camera that I was renting. But it was also for just fun and seeing some friends. But hey, any excuse to get out into a new environment with a new camera is that's a great recipe for creativity and a great recipe to create some cool content. And it's always spices up. If I have to create a camera test, it spices up just, going around to the same old spots or, whatever. If I go to a new place.
A new environment, you get those creative juices flowing, you get new ideas.
Exactly.
So we actually had a few camera announcements and some news around that. You want to just start there?
Go right into the cameras? All right. Yeah, well, first off, we have the Sigma FP.
Right.
Remember that camera?
This is Sigma's first full frame camera, their mirrorless camera.
I think it's their first real mirrorless professional camera that they're putting out. And
it's finally available.
Yeah, finally available for pre-order. I think it's shipping. I think it's actually shipping now. We've had it available for pre-order.
I think you can buy this.
It started shipping. I think it was October 26th. So we're definitely a few days into that, a week into that or so. There'll probably definitely be reviews online already. I imagine there were also before, but now you actually have it getting into the hands of people who aren't getting sent it specifically from Sigma. So it's, a little more reliable, a little less biased sometimes, a little less glamorous reviews. And you can get the down and dirty of how this camera actually performs.
Right, and this is actually a really unique camera because it does have that Cine still switch to switch between video and photo mode. It has a dedicated color and tone button for making in-camera adjustments. There's no in-body image stabilization, but it's a really small camera that's perfect for mounting on gimbals, potentially even mounting it on a drone if you get a Matrice or something like that. It shoots raw cinema DNG files. This is a really powerful camera coming in at just $1,900 for the body only. So I'm genuinely excited to see how reviewers perceive this camera, what their thoughts are. I really like how the software is looking, and I think it is packing some really unique features that can make this a compelling option for people looking for a great full-frame camera. There's one camera, Gabe, there's one camera I feel like we're waiting to see released but isn't out yet. Do you know What was that?
I'm silently fuming over here. It doesn't translate well in audio, but that is
I shouldn't have brought it up.
Let's not go there. The A7S3 is still missing. There's those posters up. It's on the back sides of milk cans, canisters, or whatever cartons. Have you seen this camera? Because Sony has made nigh a mention of it. So let's move on to some more positive news, I guess. The Sigma FP honestly is something I've definitely been considering as a replacement, but I don't think that's a very reliable one yet. We'll have to see what reviews come in and also if they release any updates for like 12-bit RAW, stuff like that. But something that is a reliable camera maker is Canon.
Yeah,
and
they make
just
some great cameras.
Yeah. You can say that again. Say it again.
They make some great cameras.
All right, good. Now we've said it twice. And speaking of great cameras, they went above and beyond. It looks like they're making their greatest camera, their flagship camera, the 1DX, and they just took the wraps off kind of the Mark III, which will be coming out next year.
Right. This is as Gabe mentioned, the flagship camera. Gabe, what are some of the flagship specs we are looking to see from the 1DX Mark III? What's going to make this the top of the line option from Canon?
Well, I mean, one thing is the fact the price tag. That's the biggest feature, obviously.
That's the feature. What's this going to cost?
I think it's going to come in at over 5,000. I'm trying to find. It hasn't been released yet, so it's really hard to say. But yeah, this is going to be an expensive camera, not for the faint of heart, for sure.
Right. I mean, I have some notes here. It looks like the 1DX Mark II is currently going for $5,999 new. I would expect something similar for the Mark III when it's released. And in my opinion, the killer new features are autofocus. It's got 28 times more resolution in the sensor when shooting through the viewfinder. It's got live view with dual pixel autofocus, 90% coverage horizontally, 100% coverage vertically. It'll shoot 422 10-bit, shoot 4K 60 frames per second.
Yeah, hold on. Let's just pause right there, okay? Yes, 10-bit 422 4K 60. And that's internal RAW.
Yeah.
Sony, I don't know if you listen to our podcast. I'm assuming you don't, but even if there's a 0.001% chance, I'm going to take it to just say, hello, Sony. Pay attention right there to those previous 30 seconds of audio. Replay them a couple times. Make sure that when you do release that A7S3, there's a similar specs in that. Anyways.
But forget the price tag. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, no, forget that price tag. Forget all the other stuff and put in your Sony goodness. Anyways, yeah. And then you get that 16 frames per second burst shooting mode, 20 frames per second burst through live view, twin CF card slots, and improved battery life. Gabe, like you mentioned, this is Canon's flagship camera. They're releasing it just in time for the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020, and really we're going to see pro photographers putting this camera through its paces. It may be a few months off in terms of actual release, but Canon is already starting to hype this up, and I think it's going to deliver for Canon fans and for people in the Canon ecosystem. Yeah, I mean, here's a couple things I'll highlight. One thing, backlit buttons. That's something.
Really?
Yes, backlit buttons. We haven't seen that really before.
Ever. I don't think I've ever seen that.
But it makes sense because a lot of times I'm shooting in environments where it's dark out. It's, I can't really see my camera. And I mean, usually once you use a camera enough, you kind of know it by feel. I'm sure you can test to this, that you can pretty much, your camera, you can just hit, all right, I know where this is. But right, it's always helpful to have as long as it doesn't decrease battery life too much.
Sure. It's something I've loved with Canon cameras has been the touch screen. So you don't even need backlit buttons. You can just see the screen and touch that. But
True.
that's really cool to see.
The other two things that I was going to point out. One, this is Canon's first camera that's actually going to be using AGIF for an image codec.
What is AGIF? Oh, good. It's Friday?
Oh, wait, no, HEIF.
HEIF. Oh, so it's a high efficiency video codec.
Exactly.
Or the image codec. Better than JPEG.
I think. Yeah, basically this is what you're seeing iPhones actually shoot most of their photos on unless you turn it off. And one actually interesting thing, I don't know if you sent this to me or someone else did.
I think I sent this to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that Google Photos, if you use them to back up your photos already, great, you're ahead of the game. If you don't, definitely get on it. It's free image backup. And up till now, usually the one thing you've had to worry about is, if I upload my images, it's not going to be at the best quality. If I'm not paying for it, they're going to decrease the quality. However, because of the efficiency of the HEIF image format, if you're an iPhone user uploading your stuff to Google Photos, it actually doesn't decrease the quality because they're so efficient. It comes in under Google's, threshold for how big a file has to be before they decrease the quality.
Right. JPEG images can be compressed more, but HEIF is so efficient that Google Photos has actually been storing the original quality photos if you're an iPhone user, which has been really cool. Of course, now that the news is out that original quality iPhone pictures are being backed up, but no original quality Pixel 4 pictures are being backed up, Google's got to do something to rectify that.
Yeah, so that probably won't be available for long, but still, that's a cool thing that this new Canon camera is making use of that. What has really up till now been a primarily mobile format, because with mobile, you're like, we need more efficient, because space is usually a top priority. With cameras, photographers don't really care. They're like, whatever. If it's not the most efficient format, I don't care. I'll just buy an extra hard drive or two. Probably.
Sure. And I see Canon had another camera that was released. What was going on there?
Well, hold on, one more thing. Sorry, you're jumping ahead.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
The last thing, which is kind of cool, is they have an autofocus on trackpad. That this is just some hints and rumors, but basically it's up until now. They have usually had like a joystick on these professional cameras.
Yeah, it's like a little nipple almost.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's basically like a trackpad, like you'd have on like a Mac.
So you can swipe around.
I think that's essentially what it is. This isn't from Canon, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, this could be a very interesting thing that they're while they're just improving specs, a lot of times on flagship cameras, they're also introducing some new innovative things.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Will I be getting it? No, with that $6,000.
This is the camera that you will be getting, though, right? This next Canon camera.
Oh yeah, I've pre-ordered this bad boy.
Yeah. So this is the Canon. The name actually honestly hurts me. The Canon Ivy REC Mini. That's the name of it. And the basically best way to describe this is a carabiner that you would clip on your backpack or something like that, in super bright colors of blue, neon green, and neon or fluorescent pink. And yeah, how much is this exactly? $129. It records 1080p, 60 frames a second, and 13 megapixel images. Waterproof to 6 feet, shockproof from 6 foot, and that's about it that we need to say, right?
I think that covers everything. To me, this is a questionable release. I think, to be honest, Canon just had been working on this. And then we had, what was that camera? The 360 camera that just came out from that company.
GoPro?
Not GoPro. It was the other camera company. It was like Snapchat, but different. It like clipped to your chest, and
I am drawing a blank, which is weird because I usually
you're the camera god.
Clipped to your chest like Snapchat.
Yeah, like you wore like a necklace, and then you would magnetize.
Oh yeah, it's not a 360 camera. It's by Insta360, but it's the Go. It's a 360 Go, tiny 20-gram stabilized smartphone, or
there
whatever,
it is.
Action cam, whatever it is. I just jumbled a bunch of words together.
Insta360 Go, they just came out with a very portable camera. I think Canon had this Ivy REC outdoor camera in the works, and they just needed to throw it out there. I don't think anyone should buy this or will buy this. It's already got 2.4 stars on Canon's website. So
yeah, it seems pretty horribly spec'd. I mean, only 1080p, 60 frames a second is pretty bad. 13 megapixel images, I guess, is fine. We'll see what the quality would be. It's obviously geared towards kids, just give them this camera they can always have with them
that you can clip to your backpack.
Yeah, basically that's I think that's the whole.
It doesn't even have a viewfinder.
Yeah, no viewfinder. But you remember GoPros didn't have a viewfinder for the longest time too. So
yeah, but that was years ago.
The Insta360 Go also doesn't have a viewfinder. Get out of this little world you're in where you think everything needs to have a viewfinder, Stetson. Come on.
Okay, Gabe. Okay.
All right. Well, something that does have a viewfinder, moving on, is the new Nikon camera. Do you have any idea where this is going? What type of camera you think they're releasing?
Well, they're releasing a Z50 type of camera. That's all I know about it.
I know. You're very familiar with their naming schema, so that would mean it's a... No,
it's a mirrorless camera.
Well, okay, you got the mirrorless camera. Yeah, this is actually their first DX sensor mirrorless camera, or for those who aren't fluent in Nikon terminology, APS-C mirrorless camera.
Oh, why didn't they just say that?
Because they're Nikon and they're obviously better than you at anything imaging and photography related. So
I guess so. So
yeah,
what
basically
what's
Nikon calls their sensors FX and DX. That's a little quick thing. FX full frame, DX is the crop sensor. So
this is a new, because this is a Z.
This is a DX.
Oh.
Yeah. Z is just what they've put in front of all their mirrorless cameras. Oh. This is, Stetson, you'll have to come take my course on understanding Nikon's naming schema.
I'll sign up for your online course.
Yeah, they're honestly almost as bad as Sony when it comes to naming products. They pretty much they don't do Mark IIs or anything like that. They just add 10, or sometimes they add 50 to it, or sometimes they subtract from it. Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
I mean, is this a good camera? Should people be aware of it?
I think this is, obviously I've included it because I think people should be aware of it, and it's not like the previous camera because people should stay away from it. It's actually a pretty decent camera. It starts for $899, so I guess let's just call it what it is and say that's $900. Well, actually $856 right now, listed on B&H, so a little cheaper. Or you can get it with a 16 to 55 or 50 millimeter lens for $996, so right under $1,000. And yeah, this looks pretty enticing. It has a 20 megapixel sensor. It can record 4K and full HD at 120 frames a second. It has a touchscreen that tilts 180 degrees, which you love, I know. And it has 11 frames per second shooting, 209-point autofocus, and of course Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the regular that you'd expect.
That sounds actually quite great. Competing very well with the Canon 90D, offering a great selection of features. Wow, I'm impressed.
Well, I'd say this is competing more with their EOS M6 Mark II. Isn't that what it is?
Maybe, or maybe the M50.
Yeah, or the M50, because it is a mirrorless camera. So remember, where the 90D is great for video, obviously it's everyone loves that camera. It's still pretty chunky in today's world of mirrorless cameras, and the Z50 is a mirrorless camera, very light. I actually recently, like I said earlier, tried out the Nikon Z6 mirrorless camera when I was in Oregon. They have this great rental test drive program they're doing through local camera stores. So I was able to rent that camera, a Ninja V recorder, a gimbal, and a Rode microphone, all for $150 for a week, which is a very good deal. Because if you go to a regular rental shop and try to rent the Z6, you're going to probably pay $150 just for 2 to 3 days.
Wow, that's a great deal. Great deal. How did you like Nikon?
I really honestly was pretty happy with it. There's a big difference between, any cameras. I'm using Sony now, so it's going from Sony to Nikon. The biggest difference is obviously going to be the UI and menu system, and that takes a bit to get over and get used to it. But, even in that week, I was already seeing there was a lot of helpful features that camera had. Notably, the touchscreen, I really liked the way that Nikon had designed their user interface to work with the touchscreen. I know the A7 III that you have, that has a touchscreen, right?
Well, you can touch the screen, but you can only use it to select your focus point.
Right, that's what I was going to say, which seems really dumb. However, with the Nikons, you can scroll through the menus, you can swipe through images, you can zoom in and out of images, and really use it just like a touchscreen that you'd have on your smartphone. So,
as it should be.
Sony, what are you doing?
Another camera that is basically all touchscreen, if you think about it, is the flying camera that we saw released, right?
Wow. That is a horror. No, I'm sorry. We're not pivoting that way. We're going to go to the Google Pixel 4.
What?
That's the one that's all touchscreen, pretty much.
That's where you want to pivot this?
That's where I want to pivot this. You're not going to pivot this to the Mavic Mini. This is going... Because which is more of an all touchscreen camera?
Well, you control the Mavic Mini with your Pixel 4.
Here comes the golden shopping cart towards me. Yep.
Okay. All right. Fine.
I'll let you talk about this, though, because this is your territory. You actually received a Google Pixel 4.
Yeah. Google sent me a Pixel 4 XL. I've been testing it out for the past couple of weeks. I do have some thoughts on it. First of all, I've really liked it.
Okay, well, we don't want to hear those. No, just kidding.
Gabe, that's the whole point of this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Give me back the shopping cart.
All right.
I think some highlights. There was a lot of outrage on Reddit because of the small batteries in the Pixel 4. I can't really comment on that because, to be honest, it's spent a little bit more time just sitting idle on my desk. As I'm primarily...
You're not using it as a daily driver?
I'm not. I've been using it, taking it with me for the cameras. And that's the big thing. I love the cameras. I love the telephoto lens. Great image quality. Amazing night sight and astrophotography. I love the 90 hertz smooth motion display. I think that needs to come to iPhone ASAP. For me, fast charging has been a huge plus because juicing up quickly has been more important to me than wirelessly charging. But of course, Pixel 4 has both. It's got that super fast face unlock. That has been incredible. I'm just jumping straight to my home screen.
You notice
amazing.
It's definitely faster than Apple.
Oh yeah. I mean,
iPhone 11 Pro.
What makes it especially fast is it will see your face, unlock, and bring you to your home screen. Whereas on iPhone, you look at it and the little lock icon unlocks, and there's no real sense of speed. Like you look at this and boom, something happens. It's instant. On iPhone, I don't know, it just feels slower. So I really enjoyed it, but it may be
I
less
guess you still have to swipe up. You don't have to swipe up on
no
Pixel
swiping.
4.
No, I just tap it. It sees my face, and I'm looking at my home screen. It's super fast.
Wow. Well,
and
one thing I was going to ask is the big thing that people were freaking out about was the lack of an ultra wide camera.
Couldn't care less. Not my thing.
Okay, because I'm also in a camp that I was like, this seems a little bit overblown, but it seems like not putting the ultra wide camera in, they added so much extra with the other cameras that it kind of makes up for it.
I would agree with that. I think Google has really strong image processing software. The photos I've been taking on Pixel 4, in my opinion, have looked great, and I've really enjoyed sharing them on social media. And of course, no one can forget the Google Assistant. It's just miles better than Siri and anything else out there. So I think it's honestly Pixel 4 at the end of the day is the iPhone of the Android world. It provides a really great overall experience, but it's not going to be the best at everything. Like
the best spec or anything.
Yeah, you're definitely missing out on specs, notably 4K 60 video recording or even 4K 24 video recording for that matter.
That's pretty crazy, honestly.
Yeah. You're not getting the headphone jack. You're not getting the underneath the screen fingerprint reader that's been pretty popular with other flagships. But I think it is a pretty good package overall. And if you're an iPhone user or someone considering switching to Android, this could be a really great place to start.
Yeah, and you have the XL or the regular Pixel?
I was gifted the XL. So
okay. And you would not have gone for that, or you would have?
I like smaller sized phones, so I would have personally gone with the regular. However, the extra battery has proved to be pretty great.
Oh, nice. Well, if you do decide to end up sticking with that Pixel, possibly you could be getting a new smartwatch for it, right? Because you have the Apple Watch, but it doesn't really work with Android.
It doesn't work with Android. I've been missing out on a lot of my health data. So, I've been in the market. Gabe, have you seen any good smartwatches that I should be paying attention to?
I mean, Samsung's, their, the Samsung Active S2, that looks pretty nice. The regular Samsung all looks, nice smartwatches there. But the one I've always liked from the beginning is the Moto 360 because it stood out as being really the only round smartwatch on the market.
Yeah, the Moto 360 is gorgeous. It did have that flat tire design in the beginning, but I was just looking at these and that seems to be gone, right, Gabe?
Yeah, this is the third generation, or is it the third generation? I'm not really sure.
I lost track.
Yeah, third generation. Okay, yeah.
Android Wear kind of took a dive.
Yeah, it kind of falls off a cliff, comes back on. You're like, which generation is this still here? But this is the third generation. A lot of the same functionality, but you're going to get double the storage space to 8 gigabytes, which you're not usually putting much on your smartwatch anyways. And then you're going to get your RAM up to 1 gigabyte. So a lot faster Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear 310 or 3100 processor. And then, yeah, you get a 1.2-inch circular AMOLED display. Which
I think, yeah, this is looking like a really great watch. So maybe I will pick this up for my Pixel 4. And I know we actually just saw something interesting develop in the smartwatch world as well.
Yes, well, not really the smartwatch world. And hold on, that's just want to mention price $350. So
$350 for the 360.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
No, not too great.
Okay,
But
I'll stop.
what we
now.
did see in the smartwatch world is something that pertains to me. I'm a Fitbit owner, and I like my Fitbit. And
Yes.
it looks like we just saw the death of another independent company.
This is true. Gabe, what happened? What happened to your beloved Fitbit?
My beloved little Fitbit was out on the field. They were galloping in the meadows, and then they got devoured by the hive of Google, the hive mind monopoly behemoth. I was actually doing some math. Google, since 2009, so basically 10 years ago, has acquired something around 177 companies.
Wow, that's a lot of companies.
Yeah, so 10 years, that's basically, 17.7 a year, basically 18 a year. And those include, the likes of Waze, Songza, Motorola, a portion of HTC. Like, these are huge companies.
I forgot about a lot of those. I saw your tweet about this, and that was
it just
surprising.
starts like you just start like forgetting about that. Like Google is buying, and they also bought Nest. Nest cams, huge as well. That was a big thing. That was about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So yeah, it's getting out of control. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens here with this acquisition. They're buying them for $2.1 billion as of, I think, January or February of 2020. And it'll be interesting to see, do they incorporate it in, making a Google smartwatch, which has been arguably barely existent to, why does this even exist type thing? And then also, what do they do? Do they keep them as an independent company or,
I think Android they could really use some more love for their wearables. Apple has basically taken over the wearable market. I mean, honestly, I think Fitbit has been more popular than some of the Android Wear devices.
I would definitely, Fitbit is, and I would argue, I know you're a loyal Apple Watch fanboy, but Fitbit still, I think, has some of the best health tracking data tools out on the market, and they really present a good opportunity, I think, to Google to, fight back against Apple, which is why they bought them.
Right, absolutely. And Apple has been, in my opinion, doing a great job with Apple Watch and Apple Health, helping people with a variety of things. So I'm really interested to see where this partnership and acquisition goes. And I'm honestly excited to see the new products that come out. Because Fitbit, as a company, I'm unsure if they were doing really well. Their stock price wasn't doing the greatest, but their products have been pretty good. So I have high hopes for the future.
We'll have to see. We'll wait and see. Moving on to Apple, which we've just taken our time to mention like 20 times with their Apple Watch. No new Apple Watch news, and also no new October event. So that's a bit of a letdown for you. I know is there a Mac Pro that you were waiting on some specs for?
Gabe, this is to me the A7S3 to you. Like, oh man, I'm just waiting for this to come out. More details.
I'm sorry, I gotta fight back. You've got the digging earlier with the A7S3, but let's move on to some stuff that they actually did kind of like sneakily announce. The first was their AirPods Pro.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting for Apple users and honestly anyone, because the AirPods have been a very popular, completely wireless headset.
So popular.
They've just exploded across college campuses. You see people on the subways wearing them, and these are the new Pros. So, okay, what's new with the Pros? Why would people care about these?
First thing that's new, which is big with an Apple device, is of course the increased price tag. That means that people will definitely know that you have a higher status symbol when you're wearing them. And the fact that they look significantly, well, just significantly enough different than the regular AirPods means that people can definitely recognize, oh, wow, this person's willing to pay $250 for, their wireless headphones versus this other person that only pays, $180.
Right.
So.
And that new style is actually Apple going to an in-ear style for their headphones. So these are in-ear headphones. They have active noise cancellation, a 4.5-hour battery life for 4.5 hours of listening, 24 hours with the included wireless charging case. And they now have pressure-sensitive stems where you can press to play, pause, or answer a phone call. You can press twice to skip forward, 3 times to go backward, and press and hold to switch between active noise cancellation and transparency mode.
Yeah, transparency mode, I think, is basically where it allows, the sounds from your surroundings in. So, if you're in the city or if you're like, oh, hold on, are they announcing the subway's arriving or my flight? Boom, you just hit that, allow some sounds in, allow to hear. Okay, all right, and then back to your music.
Right, you're getting your coffee order in with the barista. You can talk with her and then get that order placed and then immerse yourself again in your music. What's great, why people love AirPods is they've been great for working out. So these are now IP4 certified, which is sweat and water resistant. And they also have air vents, which will hopefully prevent that plugged ear feeling. And
that's a shame. I love that plug.
You love that. Wow, my ears just feel plugged up right now.
Yeah,
when listening to music. So,
yeah, these are. I think I wish I had the soundbite of me saying it, but I'm pretty sure last February or January on a podcast I was saying, I think the future of true wireless earphones and earbuds is that we're going to be always wearing them 24/7. That's what these companies want. We'll have easy access to the Assistant, which is stuff we're starting to see with like the Amazon Echo Buds and also the Microsoft Surface Buds, I think they are. And I think these also have the Siri support, so same thing there. And now it's the thing where it has that transparency mode, so you can literally be wearing these all the time and then just tap to let sound in. Eventually, I think they'll be intelligent, and it will just automatically be able to let sound in when it knows you need to hear it, and then cancel it out when you don't. Wow. So yeah, this is the future of further isolating us from each other. So you can literally be walking down the street next to other people talking, and you're not talking to them. You're talking to your friend who just happens to be like a couple blocks over across the city.
That is amazing. What a wild future you are imagining.
Sounds fun.
Dude. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we did, if you're not a fan of earbuds, we actually got some more headphones from, well, not really Apple, I guess. Technically, they're from Beats, but these were developed, and they're the first real Beats headphones that were developed and supervised exclusively under Apple. So they kind of have a bit of an Apple touch to them. Right,
and I think the biggest Apple touch here is just in the name. These are the Beats Solo Pros.
Okay, I'm enough of people calling things pros and whatever else they want to call
Right, I mean, AirPods Pro, iPhone Pro.
This has been the year of Pro for Apple.
Apple is Pro.
Yeah, they really are. Wow, that's hold on. Maybe I should just only buy Apple products and spend double the money of everything and not be discerning buyer at all.
Right. Now you'll be Gabe Pro.
Yeah, because you're a pro based on what you buy, not on your actual skill level.
Exactly. Fine. See, go. Someone gets it.
All right. Yeah. So
what is new with these headphones?
What is new with these? I was going to ask you, but now I'm going to pretend like I was going to say what is new. What is new with these is that they are now noise canceling, which is the first time you're actually getting these on the Solo wireless headphones. Which, if people aren't familiar with the Beats headphone lineup, basically you have the Studios, which are their over-ear headphones, which are very popular, very nice, still expensive and very plasticky.
I think like $399.
Yeah, well, $349, I think. But you can check them; they're always on sale. And then you also now have the Solos, which used to be the very cheap plasticky as well ones that are on ear. So imagine like over ear, they cup your ear. On ear actually sits on top of your ear, and they're slightly smaller ear cups, and the drivers in the headphones. But now these actually have some aluminum built into them, and they're noise canceling. So I think they do, actually. I know I was just, going against Apple about using the Pro moniker, but these kind of do deserve the Pro-ness.
I think Pro is the wrong word, but they definitely got some nice upgrades.
So, like, they should just be maybe like the Beats Solo Plus.
Maybe minus for the noise cancellation. Just minus.
Oh,
you just minus out all the...
That would be clever. I like that.
Right?
Because it's kind of like people would think, what? And then have to read a little deeper and be like, oh, okay, I get it.
So,
yeah, we need to write to Apple. But yeah, so anyways, like I said, noise canceling. People generally have actually been having some really positive reviews of them. So check those out. They look good, which is honestly, with a headphone, that's basically all you care about, right?
Yep. Yeah. Only looks. Don't care about sound. I might as well be wearing cardboard, right? That's what I want.
And they come in at $300, which is definitely a bit expensive.
That is expensive.
When you're considering that you got the Bose Headphone 700. Right?
I did, yeah. These were $400 though.
Yeah, but those are over-ear headphones.
Yeah, I guess for $100 more, you're getting a whole lot more.
Yes, because the key difference, I know looking at over-ear and on-ear headphones, they look very similar, but like I said, it's the bigger drivers you get in the over-ear headphones that makes the sound more premium, and the bigger ear cups, encompasses your ear more and makes it like a fuller, richer sound.
I actually prefer the over-ear myself, so these on-ear headphones wouldn't be for me. Do you know what they use?
Especially for people with big heads like myself. On-ear headphones. I've never been a fan of them, but...
Me either. Do you know what they use for charging?
I think they're USB-C.
Really?
I think so.
We should probably check that, because...
No, we shouldn't check it, I don't think.
It was either going to be Lightning or it was going to be USB Type-C. And if it's Type-C, that has me hopeful for the future, because I think their previous ones were Lightning. So, yeah.
Well, whatever. They do use the H1 chip, which I'm pretty sure that's the one that they're using in the AirPods.
This allows for seamless, magical pairing with your iPhone. It's kind of amazing. Apple has really been the only company to just fix Bluetooth pairing, like the way you pair your AirPods.
Well, hold on. I would not say it's completely fixed. I ran into so many issues where one AirPod gets linked and then I can't seem to link my other one, and then I have to put them in the case and turn off my Bluetooth, reset the whole thing, and then try again to try to get both of them linked.
I never had that problem. Wow.
It's not 100% seamless. There's definitely still issues, but yeah, if you're an Apple user, this is definitely the Solos Pro might be a place to look. And if you're an Android, I guess they're pretty enticing headphones, just a little expensive.
Right. We also had some new software from Apple along with the headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would not know about this.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I have not downloaded it.
Right.
Because I am scared. I'm a
scared
little boy hiding from Mac OS Catalina.
Apple's latest release. Well, what are you scared of?
I'm always just worried because I use my laptop, I'm a little less worried with upgrading my phone, even though I guess I use my phone probably more hours than my laptop. But my laptop's for work, for pretty much everything I do, editing, stuff like that. And I don't want any, hidden bugs or hidden incompatibilities between apps I use to, make it so I can't do my work.
But so you don't want the huge improvements Apple made to Final Cut Pro, the performance.
Well, I can get those improvements on without upgrading to Catalina. The things that you also get, unfortunately, is the fact that they've discontinued support for any 32-bit apps or plugins. So if I'm, some of my Logic plugins might take a while to upgrade, then I can't use them until they do upgrade. So it's just usually my general rule of thumb is I wait about a month or so till after Apple upgrades to a new operating system on the Mac. I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much for that month. And then once I do upgrade, I don't have to deal with all those issues.
I guess that could be good advice. But there are a lot of new features that I think are included with Catalina. So you're missing out on the new music app. So when I plug my phone into my computer, iTunes doesn't...
Why would you do that ever?
Well, it's you're charging it. You need some juice.
No,
You only have...
I have charging ports.
Yeah, Well, maybe you forgot. Oh, yeah,
Next.
you don't have USB ports on your laptop.
I have USB-C.
Oh.
And you can bet that I am not buying a USB-C to Lightning cable for my iPhone, because why would I need that when I have 20,000 other Lightning cables to USB, 3.0.
And you can charge. Well, if you do happen to, charge your phone with your laptop, iTunes will no longer auto-launch. Apple's a redesigned music application where all your music library lives. It's pretty great. You have the new Apple TV app where you can houses your shows and your movies, and of course is where you can watch Apple TV Plus, the $4.99.
Which notably just launched November 1st.
Yeah, it's here. You can now sign up and enjoy the content. I was watching a few of the trailers. Have you seen any of the content around that?
I have not actually got around to watching it. I do know, however, if you've bought a new iPhone or iPad in the past couple months, which I know you've definitely done that.
I've done that once or twice.
Yeah, you get actually a free year of Apple TV Plus.
Maybe I'll take advantage of that. Check it out with all my free time.
The key thing, and very sneaky thing, very Apple-like thing to do, is say you sign up for that. Usually with most free trials or whatever, you can sign up for them, and the little trick is you go in and then click cancel, and it won't actually automatically charge your payment method when that free trial is up. However, with Apple, as you can guess, right, if you do that, they will cancel your free trial. So what you have to do is just either set a reminder on the date, so when it auto-renews, November 1st, or whenever you sign up for it. Otherwise, they're going to charge you, I guess it's only $4.99, so not a big deal, but they're just trying to, they want to get so many people into the system and then just have people be like, I guess whatever, I'll keep it for $4.99 a month. That's not that big.
Honestly, I think it's a really good strategy, and it's only basically a $60 a year subscription, so it's not a huge loss on Apple's part just including this.
Yeah, and the fact that they have, no content other than their original content is a bit weird. You have, at the same time, Disney is launching in a couple of weeks, and they're going to have 500 plus titles already up on the service, plus original content already starting the same month. It's a whole different thing. So, but hey, if you get it for free for a year,
might as well,
win-win.
right? Check it out, see if you like it. And they do. Apple, I think, does have some really good actors and actresses. Notably for me, they had Steve Carell in one of the shows. Jennifer Aniston's on there. Yeah. So I know it could be entertaining. That's what it's designed to be. Anyway, jumping back to Catalina, Gabe, you're also missing out on huge improvements to the Photos application. All
right, do you want me just to download this?
Yeah, I want you to download it. It's pretty great.
Okay.
I think there's a lot. You get improvements to Notes, Gallery View, more powerful search, checklist options. The new Reminders app got updated.
Oh, wait, hold on. Isn't there also a thing for our podcast that people can...
Oh, yeah. There's a dedicated podcast app now. That's right, Gabe. So you can listen to the Pinch to Zoom podcast on your computer. Beautiful interface. Subscribe to all your podcasts there. Yeah, it's really nice.
And isn't it, they're introducing, like most podcast services, that you can now search, or I think it's only for the top titles originally, but you can search for words within, like if I say, jumping jack AirPods 20 times, you could search for that.
Maybe it would come up. We got to get really good at podcast SEO. Gabe, this is the next breakthrough. We're going to new business launching soon. Stay tuned for that. Anyway, I think the biggest improvement is probably Sidecar. And this has been really exciting. I can't believe you haven't taken advantage of this. I was going to ask you about it. But no, mister, I'm not going to update over here. What Sidecar allows you to do is use your iPad as an extended desktop for your Mac. So you're traveling around, you go to your coffee shop, you have your laptop, you have your iPad. You're like, I don't want to use the iPad. I'm ready to do actual work. Let me get out the laptop. But with Sidecar, you can just, boom, prop your iPad up on the side of your computer, and it will either extend your Mac display or mirror your Mac display. And this has been tremendous for developers getting more work done. It's just a second screen you always have with you.
One question, right?
Okay.
Because you've said this has been tremendous for developers getting work done. Notably, I would like to point out, you do have an iPad and a Mac.
Yeah.
Have you used this?
Well, I actually can't use this.
Oh.
Because it's not compatible with my laptop.
Oh, no.
Sad emoji.
Yeah. So what do you need? Is it a 2017 and newer?
So
or-
you're going to need a 2016 or newer. Basically, if your laptop has USB-C ports, you're in the clear. If you're like me and you got old style USB ports, you've probably been carrying around fewer adapters, but unfortunately, Sidecar, it's not going to be able to work for you.
Well,
Yeah.
that's another reason to drop a couple thousand and upgrade your laptop.
Thanks, Gabe. Appreciate
and
that.
then buy a new iPad so you can get the newest iPad, of course.
And
by the time
maybe
that
I should get
comes
some new
out.
drones while I'm at it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of new drones, we had the Apple of drones, I guess.
Oh,
I think
that was
that's
a
an
good
appropriate-
transition. I like that,
right?
Gabe.
I always call them the Apple of drones because they actually use very similar packaging. You know, the all white boxes. And such.
That's it. It's because of the packaging.
Well, and also that they dominate the market share.
Yeah, there it is. Well, Apple doesn't really dominate, but DJI dominates.
We're talking about unique. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. You're talking about DJI, of course. 80% of the market share. They just launched a drone that is very... I guess we've been talking a lot of pros. This is very not pro.
This is consumer. This is full-fledged consumer.
This is the bottom of the consumer. Not as on like underneath the consumer or the bad part. Just this is very hard to mistake as a professional drone.
Is it prosumer? How do you,
No, prosumer is between consumer and pro. So this is definitely consumer, and for only $400 that it starts at, it's very much geared, that this could be finding under your Christmas tree, or finding for, in your presents for Jewish holidays. I'm sorry.
You can just go and buy this and wrap it and give it to yourself. Yeah. Make your own holiday.
Because compared to other DJI drones, the Mavic Air starting at like $700, $800, the Mavic 2 Zoom starting at $1,250, now $1,450. Those aren't cheap. You're not likely going to be giving those as a gift or receiving them as a gift. The Mavic Mini is very likely that you could receive as a gift, and it still for $400 is packing some pretty good specs. You have 2.7K recording, notable here because DJI does not want to cannibalize their Mavic Air sales, so I think they likely, artificially put that down to 2.7K, but hey, that's still above 1080p. That's very good. You get a flight time of around 30 minutes, which is very impressive. You get a range of around 4 kilometers. This isn't using their, light sync or whatever.
Yeah. Other drones
it's basically
use
using extended Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and this is called enhanced Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so this is very similar to the Spark and Mavic Air. And the big thing is it's only 249 grams, which is not only big because that's
actually
less
small.
Weight, the less weight you have to... Okay, sorry.
The small
thing about it, is the weight of it at 249 grams, which is very important, not only because... Who likes to carry around more weight in their bag? Not me.
Let me just empty these rocks out.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Oh, okay.
You don't do that? Rock collection?
No, but this is also...
Go?
Oh, I do actually, honestly. Not. That is what my A7S II is turning into, is basically a rock collection.
That was good.
For how old it is. Anyways, we got sidetracked there talking about weight. Thing that people have been waiting for with this drone is that it's 249 grams, which means you don't have to register it with the FAA if you are a recreational flyer. And in Canada, you don't have to pass the test, or it's not that hard of a test, honestly, but still, you don't have to pass the test, don't have to register with the government if you want to fly this drone.
Again, that is recreational. If you are using the Mavic the Mavic Mini for commercial use, you will need to register it. And funny enough, if you happen to get the Fly More combo and you put the propeller guards on it, it will be over 249 grams, and you will need to register it. So,
yeah, it's weird because you're making it safer, but honestly, who really uses propeller guards? I know I've gotten them with the Mavic Air and the Spark, and I think those are the only two I got it with, and I have not touched them literally once after I did the unboxing.
You use them for B-roll, and then that's it.
Yeah.
What are these
for?
Toss them away.
Getting some unique shots. They actually stamp the fact that this is 249 grams onto the body of the Mavic Mini. And yeah, the interesting thing as well that you might not see at first glance with this drone is that it actually uses a completely brand new app. I think it's called DJI Fly something.
I think it's
Fly
just
more?
DJI Fly.
Yeah, it might be just DJI Fly, which up until now they've been using the DJI, what is it, Fly
DJI Go 4.
4. There we go. Gosh.
Why did they put a number 4 at the end of it? I do not know. But yeah,
Well, you know why that was?
the Phantom 4.
Yeah, that was when they released this app, was with the Phantom 4.
Interesting.
So yeah, they do actually probably need a new app, even if just to get rid of the 4, because that's super confusing. But this app isn't the new app. It's just a app that's more geared for consumers, and more of their consumer drone products.
It's got fewer options. It's got still the same intelligent flight modes. So we've got the circle mode, helix mode, droney, and rocket. People love using those. The drone can basically automatically fly around you. But you lose out on some things like manual controls during video recording. I don't think this can take raw format photos. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But
I don't think so. Yeah, no DNG.
It's just like a stripped down version of the DJI Go 4 and something that is friendlier, easier to understand, and basically makes the barrier to entry as small as possible. So again, this is targeted for consumers, maybe even less than consumers, people just interested in drones, kids. You can open the app, intuitively learn how to fly this drone, and capture, honestly, pretty good footage with that 2.7K video resolution and the 12 megapixel sensor.
Yeah, there's really no mistaking this for a professional drone. As I said earlier, the Mavic Air you can kind of use in some professional settings just for a quick pickup shot here and there. This is really definitely, even though it has Mavic in the name, it's more of a replacement for, and actually not more of it is a complete replacement for the Spark. And so as such, it's, not very professional oriented, but yeah, they what they're not including in features, they're lowering the price point. They're making it more user friendly. Yeah, it looks very enticing. For $500 and I think $38, you get the
it's just $499.
Is it $499? Why was it $538?
Yeah, why do you have $538? Tax? Are you trying to add?
Oh no! Oh, sorry, that's what it is. It's if you get the DJI Care.
Oh, there you go.
Which I think, honestly,
probably,
if you're getting this as a first drone, it's a good thing to get because you're most likely going to have a crash or something go wrong. So just pay that $40 extra and protect your drone. And yeah, we'll have to see if people can create some cool stuff with this. The smaller size, like I always say, even though this isn't spec'd as high, or if you have a camera that's smaller, more able to bring places, that's the better camera in a lot of situations because you can actually capture that versus having to let me get out my 60-pound camera, set it up on my gimbal with my audio recorder. All right, we're ready. Oh, hold on, the sunset or this moment passed and now we can't get it.
Now let me just put that away again. Repack my rock collection.
Yeah, essentially that's what it is. You're carrying around a several pound rock.
Did you get this this drone, this flying camera?
I have it pre-ordered currently. However, I don't know if that's going to stay pre-ordered because you also have the Skydio, Skydio 2 drone coming out in just like 2 or 3 weeks. They're going to start shipping it, and that is a considerably more impressive drone, especially with all its obstacle sensing and avoidance capabilities.
I would say if you're just getting into drones, the Mavic Mini could be a good option at its $399 price point. However, I think the Mavic Air is significantly better. You're getting much higher quality video, higher quality photos, and the Mavic Air actually has obstacle avoidance. So that's my take. Mavic Air.
And if you're at the Mavic Air or the Mavic Pro, or even if you're still on like a Phantom 4 or 3 and looking to upgrade, I think the Mavic 2 Pro is likely the way to go. However, if you hold out a little longer, it looks like we might be getting a Mavic 3 possibly in January.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah, and notably this will have their sensor module that will allow it to communicate with the air traffic control, so you can, avoid helicopters, avoid planes or whatever, should they be flying low.
That would be incredibly interesting. And this is going to have their new map, right? DJI said starting 2020, all drones are going to have this new mapping system integrated.
That's the sensor.
That's the sensor? Okay.
Yeah, the AirSense system.
Wow. What else?
The ADSB receivers. Yep.
Any other rumors around this drone? I mean, January is pretty soon. DJI has been basically pumping out drones, it seems like.
No, they have not.
DJI has been basically idling in the air with their drones.
Yeah, essentially that's what they hovered for this past year. Put out this little Mavic Mini here just in time, for some holiday gifting. But they've really been waiting until the new laws went in place in the European Union, which just happened, I think, in October. And then they're waiting till, this next year to really release their new drones. And they indicated this to us back in February when they said we're not going to be releasing or all new drones after 2020 over 249 grams will be released with this ADSB sensor. And that was literally a direct hint of their game plan. So the new Mavic 3, we don't really know much about. So we're not going to spend too much time on it, but basically we can expect obviously better air sensing, so it'll have closer possibly to what you have with the Skydio 2. You're going to have the new OcuSync 3.0 for even better image transmission. You might have Active Track 3.0 like you've seen in the Osmo Mobile 3 and the DJI Ronin SC. And maybe a better sensor, slightly with Hasselblad or some new lens options. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't think we should waste any time talking about that, though.
Yep, let's move on.
And one quick thing left in the camera department. I want to mention Panasonic S1H, right? That's been a camera I've been considering, honestly.
Yeah, this is like 4K 60. It's got some pretty good specs.
Yeah, it does even 6K recording. However, it does weigh a lot. I know that's been one drawback. If you're a vlogger or something, it's likely not for you. But the big thing, because this camera's been out now for a while, it's available. Not much news in that department. But the big thing is actually it became the first Netflix certified mirrorless camera, which I didn't even know there's people who'd want to film on it. Actually, I don't know. I would have thought that there's people already filming on mirrorless cameras for Netflix, like the A7S II or even the Canon EOS R possibly. But I guess, hey, nothing lived up to Netflix standards until now. And that's, if you want to get into the Netflix game, might be the camera possibly.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know Netflix certified cameras, but that is really cool to see. It makes it so people could potentially have their content on Netflix, I guess. Yeah,
it's basically like I've seen it before, if you go on, they have like their guide of like what can be used, what can't be used for making it, what are their specifications, and they have, their list of cameras that can be used to film, or if you use you can use a GoPro for a shot in a Netflix, cinema or series or whatever, but it has to be like less than like so many seconds, and there's like certain like rules that they have.
This is for Netflix original content, is that correct?
Yeah, basically, yeah. If you're getting paid by them to create content for Netflix, you're going to your production company or you're going to the rental house and saying this is what we're going to shoot on. Now you could possibly, if you're doing a more run and gun show, you need that lighter weight. S1H, while it may be heavy for a mirrorless camera, is definitely a lot lighter than many of the cameras that people use on traditional, TV sets or docuseries.
Yeah, so I think that's it for cameras. We have a few light news.
A little light. Well, it's just a little
reading.
light news because it's just quick. We had Aputure announcing their RGB light bulbs, the RC. Oh no, wait, not the RC light bulbs that you've been waiting for.
No, that's what I've been waiting for.
Sorry,
they said end of summer. It is past end of summer.
Well, no, wait, hold on. End of summer. Oh, you thought they meant summer for the northern hemisphere.
Oh no!
Okay.
No, Gabe, I do not like how you're spinning this.
Oh no! But this might tide you over. Okay. Are you ready for this name?
Gabe, I think I'm ready. So we had the Aputure.
It's the MC RGB WW Mini LED light.
Okay, I was not ready for that. Yeah, what was that? One more time.
I'm not going to say that again. Basically, this is a new tiny little light panel. Gotta look it up. Basically, go to Aputure's website because it's really impressive how small they made this. And I mean, they've already had some small lights, but this one now is RGB, so you can do basically any color that you could imagine. And what's even more important is it's only $90, and it has wireless charging built in.
Wow. I'm surprised for a light.
Impressive. Yeah, also USB-C charging as well.
That's incredible. Maybe I should pick this up.
I know, right? It'll be used a lot on sets and on video productions just as a practical light, or some small, like, we just need a little more light behind this object to accent it a little more. So very enticing. You can pick it up, I think, for under $500 with 4 of them in a case that will actually charge them wirelessly in the case. So There's another option. Yeah, right?
Whoa.
And it actually gets up to 100 minutes at max brightness, which is, it does 400 lux at 0.5 meters.
That's some light. This is a light.
Yeah.
Everybody.
For how big it is, it's. Do you want us to know the size exactly? Here we go. Scroll down on the page. Where can I find it? All right, here we go. Dimensions 3.7 by 2.4 inches. So
it's
how big is the
pocketable.
phone? Yeah, it's basically it's like slightly bigger than a credit card.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let there be light. It's lit. I like
Let there
it.
be light. Speaking of more lights, we have the Lume Cube 2.0.
Yeah, what is a Lume Cube?
Do you even know anything about this? No, I'm not even going to bother setting you up for failure, Stetson. The Lume Cube 2.0.
Thanks, Gabe.
I've owned the Lume Cube since they were kickstarted about 2.5 years ago. I bought into their product there because it looked cool. It's these tiny little cubes, about, honestly, like 1.5 inches to 1 inch square.
It's a cube.
Yeah, it's a cube, so square. And they have Bluetooth built in, so you can control them from your phone. They're very bright. They're waterproof. They have accessories that you can put on them that change the color, to change to model the light, and shape it more, stuff like that. Yeah, they're more, I think, for photography, a little bit more, because you can do some cool night photography, right? People even put them on drones and do long exposure shots and fly their drone like around things or through the sky, and you can do some cool light painting. But yeah, if you're into photography or just need a super bright light, they're a really good option. And these new ones have USB-C, which is
that's a big win.
Also, yeah, really good. I know, because I have the old ones, and I always have to hunt for a micro USB cable.
It's the cable no one has anymore.
Yeah,
but everyone.
And I
needs.
think that's pretty much it for light news. One little last thing in light news, as in not so heavy news, is Zhiyun Tech, which is a gimbal company. They continued the great gimbal wars of 2019 by releasing their Tiny Giant S gimbal, I think is what it's called. What is it? Yeah,
Wait,
tiny the Weebill S Tiny Giant.
Tiny Giant.
Gimbal.
That's
it's accurately named. Yeah, right. Well, because it's really small, but yeah, it's pretty powerful actually.
Right? Can't the motors hold actually like a 1DX? Like you could put a 1DX on there.
Yeah, it's really, we're getting to some places where they're making these gimbals very compact, and super small, yet the motors are super powerful. So, and only $439, competes directly with the Ronin SC. And yeah, that, if you're looking for a gimbal, this might be a good one to look at. I think it's available now. So check it out, B&H or directly on Zhiyun Tech's website, which is not very well made, I gotta say. So definitely stick to one of your, main third-party retailers.
That would go really well with the Sigma FP.
Yeah, but even that, you don't really need it. I guess the Sigma FP would be nice because you get lightweight with the lightweight, super mobile setup.
Yeah.
And you can even get a image transmission module, so you can, be using it and have someone else monitoring the image.
That's it's a great gimbal. I mean, honestly, $400 or what do you say, $430 for that versus the Mavic
$440 basically.
The Mavic Mini. I think
no, you're wrong DJI series, the Ronin.
No, but I'm just saying, like, of the new products we announced.
Oh, I got you.
I would rather spend my $400 on the Zhiyun Tech Tiny Giant. I like it. Cool name.
Yeah.
Cool product. And I think that's it.
That pretty much brings us to the end of our. Geez, this was I'm tired. I gotta go take a nap.
Yeah,
I know. Thank God
recoup.
we have an extra hour of sleep tonight because we're falling back.
Oh yes, Gabe, that is exactly what I wanted to hear right now. Thank you.
So yeah, if you forgot about that up until this point, well then it's basically like you didn't listen to this episode, right? Because
you just got an hour back
right here. You just got that free. We just gave you that hour.
Wow, well spent. Boom. Hour well spent. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow us on social media at Pinch to Zoom Pod on Twitter, at Pinch to Zoom Podcast on Instagram, and of course, you can hit us up with an email, pinch2zoom podcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll be back getting into our regular 2-week schedule. And I don't know, we probably will stick with the regular schedule. I don't think there's any more events coming up unless Apple does a surprise October event in November, right?
That would be a fast one. They need to revamp their calendar app if they're pulling those kinds of stunts. But, I'd be happy to see it one way or the other.
So, yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because that just, hey, it's free, makes it easier. And
if you're on macOS Catalina, you can find us now in the brand new podcast application.
Yeah, I guess I'll go download that now and upgrade my computer. You've convinced me.
Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you next time, right?
Yep, absolutely. Take care.
Bye. Do I really need to say bye at the end there?
I got really sleepy towards the end of that. I apologize.
Oh, that's great. That's just what people want to hear. When I was recording that content for you, I was honestly half in. So thank you for wasting your time listeting to that.
I
literally almost had to suppress a snore.
I'm just like, my lights are dim. I'm comfy. Let's just try out the sleep tracking on my Apple Watch. See how that's going.